Good morning, GMs. Today I want to try a new format where I can just talk to you. How many of you have ever had this situation where you've got players come to the table with very detailed ideas about where their character could go and where their character is from, and maybe even just before session they're asking you, it'd be really cool if my character could do this. And they've got all these things that would reflect this character, but they're things that you are expected to set up because you're the game master. This is a game about storytelling, and it's easy to forget that players are supposed to be doing it too. There's not a lot of content out there on how to storytell as a player, so it's our job to teach it to our groups, because it's easy to forget that this is a game where we all do storytelling at the table, and kind of default to thinking that the game master is a storyteller and that the players react. As the game master, you are the most creative person at your table, but it's important to know what that means. You might not be the most creative person of all the people there, but you are sitting in the seat of most creative person. It is your job to be the most creative person. Now, does that mean that you do all of the creativity at the table? I don't think so. I think it means you mentor your players in tips and techniques how to bring their own creativity onto the table. Because you've got imagination and you've got tools for incarnating that imagination. Those two things together are creativity. So your players may have this part, you as most creative person need to mentor them in this part. And so today I'm talking about taking your players from the level of improv actors, which they certainly are, and bringing them up to the level of character writers. Because players are an acting troupe, but they are also a writing crew, where each one of them controls the arc of a single character. And if that sounds like a big leap, just consider that players really are already doing this. Every player I've ever gamed with has come to the campaign with things that they wanted their PC to do. So why not take some of the work off yourself, with all these things that they're expecting you to set up, and help the players be more organized about it and make those things come about by themselves. What I do at my table is every time the players come into a new location or a new scene, or even every time a new plot twist comes up, they know, and I'll remind them, to brainstorm a move set, a list of things that would be cool for their player to do in this situation. Organized is maybe the wrong word, maybe a better word is intentional. We're helping them be intentional about organizing their hopes, their plans for this character into a list of actionable items that they can pull out when the time is right. And having those in hand, like cards, is going to do two things. It's going to make their moves more interesting than just, I attack the goblin, I run for the lever. It's also going to take those things that they're hoping to do and put them back into their control so that you can run the game. It's like at the beginning of the scene, they get to draw cards to play, except their hand size is infinite and the cards are all whatever they want them to be, as long as they're laying down ones that actually fit what's going on and respect everyone at the table. Maybe that'd be another video. This isn't anything new, this is just resource allocation. Because you're dealing with things the players want to do. That already exists as part of your campaign. Handling it this way is going to take those off of a sheet that people hand you at the beginning of the session to pressure you to work it all in, and put it over into the player's headspace, almost behind their little DM screen. It might take a little bit of your attention off the game at first as you explain it to them and remind them to keep doing this. But I think sharing these how-tos with your players is something that's going to yield long-term benefits in the richness of the kind of games you can play. I think we have three jobs. One is to write and run the campaign. It's real easy to just get focused on that one. Two is to manage the table, people's attention spans, drama between them. That's a completely different skill. And the third one is to be educating your players how they can be better writers. And that isn't something I've seen a lot of content about. It's something I'm trying to do more of here. If it's something you already do, would you leave me a comment? Tell me, what do you teach them and how successful have you been? Did you find that it worked for your campaign or that it was more trouble than it was worth? Anyway, if you like this tip, share it with the GM you know or with your players. Live the adventure. I'll see you next time.